So you've heard of walking while black, moving in while black, barbecuing while black. Now add babysitting while black to the list of offenses that will get the cops called on you in America. Now, Raw Stories reported that Georgia resident Corey Lewis is very upset after a white woman first stalked him as he was, taking a couple of kids that he was babysitting out on the road. He was in a parking lot of a local Walmart going on an errand with these two kids when he was babysitting, when this woman decided to come up and call the cops on him. Great. Now, the woman, white woman, of course, first approached him and started questioning him about the safety of the children. But why? But why? And the children didn't seem to be any distress or anything like that. So why are you worried? Well, it's because these kids were in the company of a black man, these white children, right? Now, the woman asked Lewis if she could talk to the kids and make sure they're okay. And he refused, as he didn't see why he should let a complete stranger talk to the children whose safety he was supposed to be guarding. Now, the woman also then followed Lewis in her car all the way to the street where he lived before calling the police to report him. So now we got, what is it, Babysitter Becky or something? I don't know. I don't know what you guys are going to call her, but I'm sure you'll come up with a hilarious name. We got somebody basically saying, well, it's so weird that a black guy is babysitting two white kids. There's something must be up. It must be a kidnapping. No, it's not a kidnapping. It's not a kidnapping. Nonetheless, cops showed up to the scene and talked to the kids, 10-year-old girl and a 6-year-old boy, who then confirmed that Lewis had not kidnapped them. The police then called the children's parents to express disbelief that someone had told the cops to investigate that babysitter. The mother of the two children, Dana Mongo, told CBS 46 that she is stunned that anyone would call the police on Lewis. Quote, I said, are you saying that because there's an African-American male driving my two white kids, that he was stopped and pulled over and questioned? And he said, sorry, ma'am, that's exactly what I'm saying. Here we go again. Here we go again. Black people getting in trouble, getting the cops called on them for doing normal, regular things. And you want to say racism doesn't exist. How many times? You can't relax at your pool in the apartment complex that you live in while you're black. Apparently, you can't even be in your own home without, while black, without being shot to death when a cop accidentally walks into your own house, your own apartment. You can't do any of that. You can't even, what are black people supposed to do? Stay home and do nothing? Well, as I said before, that's not to stop a cop from coming into your home and shooting you. There is literally no place in America that is safe for black people. This is insanity that we live in. And again, inherent bias, right? Some people see a black person with two white kids and be like, oh, must be up to no good. You're walking down the road holding Skittles and a nice tea. You must be up to no good. You're in a police uniform because you're a police officer in the backyard trying to, investigate a crime scene. Must be up to no good. I'm going to call the cops on a black guy that looks like a cop, even though he is a cop, because I think he's not a cop. He's black. He must be up to no good. This is what we're like. This is what our society has become. That we look at a section of the American population and think they're doing something completely normal. They must be up to no good. Well, you know how they are. No, we don't know how they are. Please tell me how, what they are, right? How they are. Without sounding like a complete racist jackass. Because that's what you sound like when you say, well, I think they're up to no good. I think they're up to no good. No, they're not. They're regular people trying to live their lives. Jesus, man. This is, look, if I'm getting frustrated by this, imagine how the people constantly getting harassed by police and nosy white people feel. I did a story the other day about a man who was moving in to his house later at night, black man. The cops stopped him and thought he was a burglar, that he was robbing his own house because he was moving a television into his house. And instead of letting him go and get the paperwork, which proved that he lived there, the cops handcuffed him. And now the guy who was handcuffed was like, it's real uncomfortable, but I understand. You shouldn't understand. This shouldn't be a thing. Why is this a thing? It, again, goes back to that inherent bias that people have. And again, this is something that a lot of people aren't necessarily conscious to, but do it anyway. And that unfortunately perpetuates racism. We've got to be more mindful of that inherent bias. That person that called the cops on this young man, this Corey Lewis. Inherent bias. You've got to be conscious of it. And you've got to take steps to say, hey, wait a minute. Is this person just doing something normal? Do these kids look like they're in danger? No. Well, if they don't look like they're in danger, then leave them the fuck alone. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.